grain, about the size of a grain of mustard seed. Just a little bit. That's all. And I'm telling you, I believe God. And we want to believe God on your behalf. How about that? So what we're going to do, she said, like on Facebook, the About page will supply a link. It'll probably be up and going by the time you see this video. But if not, keep watching for it, because I'm going to be looking for the requests, because I want to do that. I want to offer that. I have no problem with praying. I have no problem with praising and rejoicing before God. I think the two go together. And y'all heard, y'all pretty much know my personality. I will hear what I'm saying. I will talk back to God. And I mean talking about with the highest degree of respect. Are you sure? You've seen me do that in the videos. But the way I'm talking to you now, this camera that I'm still adjusting to, the way you hear me talking now is the way I talk to God. Whatever's going on, if I look, and I see something going on myself, or I feel something going on myself, it's an all right now, God. God, what is this? You're the physician, you're the doctor, you made me, you know all about me. And I look for him to resolve whatever the issue is. No matter how small, no matter what it is, I lay it before him and I look for the answer. And I want to do that with and for you by agreeing based on the petition of your request. Let me go a little bit further. I have a number of pages here, as I said prior. Forgive me for the times that I look down, but I'm trying to cover all the points. I heard some people, when I watch like YouTube videos, they'll say this video might be a little bit longer than normal. This might be. I might not follow it totally. It depends on when the Spirit of the Lord kicks in, because I look for him to kick in. How about that? Another thing I want to cover, that I want to say more, but I'm going to stay modest and mild about what I'm getting ready to say. So, my wife and I, we went to the post office over the weekend. She came out with a bunch of letters. We're still in the process of getting Hype Central set up. There were letters from the bank that we bank with. They were giving us the information that we need, moving forward, all things Hype Central. And then, dun 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 dun, I saw a letter from the IRS. Oh, anybody, can y'all feel me when you get a letter from the IRS? And in my mind, the first mindset, I was like, okay, the people did our taxes, and that was the first set of business taxes, and we weren't, as I'm about to announce, we weren't that then, huh? So they did the taxes. So what is this letter about? We opened up the letter, and it was saying that you guys are now, how was it worded, Renee? Help me out here. Something along the lines that you are now 501c3 organization. We are now officially a non-for-profit. Let me tell you why I went that route. I was telling Renee before Hype Central got up and running, I was saying, because when the time comes, not if the time comes, when the time comes that maybe you appreciate the words that we're saying, maybe you appreciate what we're doing, and you want to offer gifts or donations, and believe me, this is not a subject I don't even want to talk about, because I'm not in it for that. For me, increase in abundance is a byproduct of doing the will of God. But I said to her, I want people to be able to give confidently, and that they can, what is it called when you make charitable donations, and that they can write it off on their taxes. I wanted Hype Central to be that way. And as of this weekend, per the IRS letter to us, letting us know, and we've already sent it out. She just passed me the letter. I guess she wanted me to see it. I'll read the first line. I won't give all the details since y'all watching me. But it says, we're pleased to tell you we determine you are exempt from federal income tax under the Internal Revenue Code, and it's section 501c3. It says donors can deduct contributions they make to you under the IRS section 170. And I'll stop right there. But here's a letter here. We made copies ourselves. But I want you to know we're going to do due diligence concerning all that it entails, because I want all that's attached with being non-for-profit, being able to have gifts and contributions given towards us, to see what's available to you. To you. It's for you that we're here. The very reason that we're here is for you. It's not for me. It's not for her. It's for us, who are the called according to his purpose. Now, moving on from that. Next, I want to talk about what happened in the last video. The originals that came. To you, it might be light. To you, it might be light. But I think I would feel disappointed if I didn't let God know that I thanked him for just that little ditty. That little ditty. More than this. Life is more than this. More than that. An original to us. Because I remember praying to him. I said, God, this was some time ago before we even got the name Hype Central. I said, I want us to be fundamental or foundational to new songs being developed, to music, the gifts and talents that are out there, having a foundation and a springboard. I want Hype Central to be that. So I thank God for that simple ditty, and I didn't go looking for it. I gave it to you as it came to me. And then also the poem. You know, I told you I'm not a poet, but it came sitting down. I didn't go there looking through pages, seeing what word would go here, what word would go there. It was just like when I came up with the I am affirmations, if you will. It just dropped off my lips, and I just wrote it down, and that's what we came up with, and it was titled Yesterday No More. And that's all I have as the introduction and opening. I know that took a lot of time, but I wanted to cover some valid points. And again, 1-844-HYPE-NOW. And the now is in, and it's 0W. Call that, leave your prayer request, or go to Facebook, the About page. There'll be a link allowing you to leave your request there, because in my heart I believe we're going to have a testimonial side as well when answers begin to come based on the requests that you made. And I don't want to be bereft. Also, she says, she just gave me this, it says also you can email prayers at hypecentral.org is what she said. And then you can leave your requests there. Another thing I want to say about the prayers, just sometimes, whatever you're dealing with, you don't want to say for whatever reason. So I'm open to the unspoken requests. In fact, I'm willing to ask God to do double for the unspoken requests. Because depending on what you're going through, whatever it is, you know, if you say unspoken requests, I'm going to ask God for favor, that favor be added to the unspoken requests. Is that all right? So again, I thank y'all for stopping by Hype Central and checking us out. And I want to say now, let's begin. All right. You see some things scrolling on the screen, of which things I'll be talking about as I go forward. But I want to start off like I do normally in the past videos. For me, it's first natural, then it's spiritual. And one of the things that came to mind as I was pinning all this stuff down is my experience as a security officer. Back in the day, I used to work for it. I don't mind saying right now, y'all can check it out. In fact, I don't mind putting points where you can prove me now herewith. Am I just talking from the side of my face or from the cup? No. One day I went to a Pinkerton while here, actually in Missouri. That's how I got my experience with security. I went there and I applied. They pretty much hired me right away. My first station or spot of operation was Roosevelt Bank. How about that? Now, as a security officer, I was not armed. There was no gun given to me. In fact, can I just be me, y'all? I'm just being myself. When the officer, the district manager, or whoever it was at the time, the sergeant, took me to the site, he walked me to the bank. He introduced me to the branch manager. I believe it was the assistant. I can see their names. I can see their faces, which I won't call. But it was out here in Missouri at the time. I don't think Roosevelt Bank still exists anymore. I think someone else took them over. But anyway, after the introduction, he walked me around the bank, looked around. And then he says, okay. He said, I'll see you later. I said, wait! I told you I'm just being me. I said, wait a minute. Wait. I said, I pulled him to the side. I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, this is a bank. A bank. You know, the bank you see on television where things happen, and I'm about to head somewhere with that, where things happen. So I was like, what am I supposed to do here at this bank? And he looked at me, and he says, well, you observe, and you report, and you prevent. And I kind of looked around. This is not to say I had no training in the beginning, because they give you tutorials and you go online. They talk about the things that you do as a security officer, because they very well know that certain sites where you would expect to be armed, you won't be armed. But that's not the point. I didn't know my first site was going to be a bank until we drove up to the bank, walked me in the door, and said, okay, and he was about to leave. So I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? So he told me that. He says, well, yeah. He said, just kind of walk around, make yourself known, around the customers as they come in and all of that. And I'm telling you, guys, women, my confidence level wasn't all that. Y'all will see if you keep watching me when I'm myself. So I wasn't quite myself. I was a little off the mark. So I was like, okay. So that's my introduction to security. But then one day, the dreaded thing happened. Didn't happen right away. I'd probably been there, maybe a couple of years from there, something like that. And then, but that's not what the part I'm not going to dwell on. So I'll just say the word, the bank got robbed. I was there. I was a part of it. I was the one being watched. They came in by two, and I'm not talking about Noah and the Ark. These guys came in by two. It was two guys. One shirt over the waist, so I couldn't tell if he was armed or not, and the other one doing the work at the counters. I've never seen anybody's whites of the eyes or the eyes big, but that day, the teller's eyes were big. So I'm leaving that story. The bottom line, the bank got robbed. I'll save that story for another time. But to let you know, as a security officer, having been there maybe a couple of years at the time, this was like in the 90s, I really felt bad. When you hear the whole story about it, you'll know that I didn't totally back away and go into a corner, because I did not. But we'll talk about that at a later time. But after it happened, I felt so bad. So bad for the staff having to have dealt with that. I didn't think about myself, because when the FBI and the detectives took me back to the office, they made it like I was a part of it and responsible. Again, like I said, I'll tell you about all of that story later. But after all that was resolved, then we went back to being a security officer at Roosevelt Bank. So something had happened prior, if I be not mistaken. Again, this is a recollection. I'm reaching. It's fact, but I might miss some points. So